Don't kick the goddamn baby.
Commencing in... oh, wait. I already hit play. So, Kig was picked. Kig was picked.
Jesus.
We're off to a great start.
We don't have to
Standard
start at the
normal,
beginning
people.
of the recording, right? We can cut stuff off at the beginning of the recording.
Greetings and salutations. God, I'm not going there either. What? Hello, everybody. This is the Loose Screws podcast, and I might do this crazy voice all night, so you guys think I'm drinking.
Oh, God, please stop it.
I'll stop it right now. All right. It is May 8th, 2023.
3309.
And,
Why is that so hard to get?
well, because it's not true.
Oh, come on.
You're not true.
But we don't do this as like an in-game thing, though. That might be something we do one April Fool's Day, maybe. Even though I think Golden Girls may be the new go-to. E. Do we still have the E button? I don't even know. Do we have E? E? No, we don't have the E button. That's unfortunate. There you go. Perfect.
E.
Okay, so this week there's some big news. We'll get to all of that stuff here eventually. Some of us are going to be hearing it for the first time. Some of us know a lot more about what's going on than others. And I've got a lot of questions about how to do certain things because I haven't bothered to do a lot of things in this game, as you guys know. So I'm gonna ask. I think Boob's gonna be the resident experienced player on doing a lot of this stuff.
Hey.
Wow.
As you guys hear, we've got some non-normal guests here, as well as our usual crew. Well, of the usual crew, it's just, I'll let you guys guess who it is. There's a really grumpy bastard, and then there's a really old bastard, and they're not the same people. And then we've got a couple of longtime Discord people hanging out tonight. So we will start by doing our normal introductory stuff, and we will start with, let's go, Lark Shadow. How are you, buddy?
Hey, doing all right. How you guys doing?
Good. What have you been doing? What's real life been doing to you? What's your in-game activities been? What's your favorite color?
Blue. Real life has been pretty busy lately, so I only got to play like twice in the last week. But I'm playing right now, and I'm pretty happy about that.
Right on. Right on. All right. Well, I guess moving on, we'll go to the other guy who's made a couple appearances now. I don't know. What do we call him? I go with Boob, but Commander Indigo is also good. He's been here a couple times now. Same color, same question, same colors. Jesus, I can't talk.
You have been drinking.
Hand the mic to somebody else. Boobtron, what's new?
Oh, what's new? I've seen some really cool birds lately. Would you believe? My wife and I are absolute nerds. And
we can't hear you, Boobtron.
Really?
All right.
Seems to be recording. Oh,
let's we'll
take
come
our
back
word
to
for
you.
it, though. He's definitely here.
Yeah, he's
my voice is
we see him, we just don't hear him. So let's go with Nurgle.
Oh, it's another day in paradise.
Okay.
That's what my friend at work says. That is never having a good day.
I say it all the time. It's so much a cliche. People will ask me, "How are you doing today?" I know. It's another day in paradise. So I need to get something new to say.
Living the dream.
Yeah, I could use that one.
That's what I use.
How about another day on a sinking cruise ship?
Yeah, that would work too.
Sometimes I just say, go fuck yourself, but that doesn't always come off well.
Yeah, but I got some time in to play this weekend. Did a whole bunch of BGS stuff. Work has been relatively calm, much to Teflon's disappointment. No crazy work stories this week.
Oh.
Well, okay, much to everybody's disappointment. No crazy work stories this week. Yeah, that's about it. Pretty normal week.
All right. Teflon.
Hey, what's up?
I ask you first.
How's it going?
I think I asked you first.
Fine. So, let me break this down for you here. So you know how in school you learn word problems in math?
Yeah.
It does come in handy in the real world, especially when, like, just a hypothetical situation. You go to the store with your wife, and you ask the lady, "Hey, I'd like to get 2 of those chicken snack packs, please. How many chicken tenders come in those? 2. Okay, cool. I would like 2 snack packs and 2 extra chicken tenders. So how many chicken tenders?
6.
2 snack packs and 2 extras.
6.
So how many? 6. 2 in each snack pack and 2 extra." And she's like, "So that's..." She's trying it's not that difficult, right?
No.
It's not that difficult. You charge me for a snack pack, then charge me for another one, then add on the cost of 2 chicken tenders. That's it.
Dude, that's usually grocery store delis. They're not the smartest people. One time I was there and they're like 8-piece chicken dinner was their special. And it was more expensive than the normal price. And I tried to show them that. And they said, no, it's the special. I'm like, so you're charging more. Is it special chicken? No, it's a special price. All right, fuck off. I'll get something else.
Right?
I can confirm that the deli people are the dumbest of everyone in there because I used to do IT support for grocery stores.
Ooh.
And oh my gosh. Every time.
Sounds about right.
Can you guys hear me yet?
Hey, Booptron.
Hey,
You sound
wonderful.
low, but I can hear you.
Thank you. Good to know. Sorry about that.
We're going through
I was
Tales
on the
from the
recording,
grocery
but
store
not in
right now with
Discord.
Teflon.
Yeah, I hear you're digging on deli workers.
All right, yeah, I know. We've already offended all the deli workers in the country. Great.
All right.
So,
My apologies to any deli workers that are smart.
To be fair, we offend a lot of people.
To be fair.
I also I bought a Stellaris expansion this week, and I downloaded 2 other games. One is called Combat Master. It's free to play, like, shooter, but it had some really good reviews, so I'm gonna check that out. Even though I haven't started up yet, I'm looking forward to seeing how it is. It looks it kind of reminds me of, like, Counter-Strike from the screenshots of the video I saw.
Okay. Now, to be fair,
To be fair,
don't you get like a Stellantis expansion, like, or no, what is it? Stellaris. Sorry,
Yeah.
I work for Stellantis. Stellaris expansion every like week, it seems. How many expansions are there for that game?
well, there are a lot.
814.
Take.
I get every one of them that comes out. I didn't have the First Contact pack yet, so I picked that up. Also, tomorrow there's another one coming out.
So I'm not that far off. Okay.
Nope.
Well, we were all very surprised that this one was the announcement of this, and it was like coming May 9th, and we're like, oh, the whole community was surprised. We were like, well, that was not long after First Contact at all. It's called so that one will be Galactic Paragons, and it will focus more on like the different leaders that you get within your empire. So I'm looking forward to that.
Interesting.
The other game I bought is a game called Trigon Space Story. And it reminds me, it looks a lot like, it reminds me, if you ever played FTL, it looks a lot like that. Only
cool.
like with like really cool looking graphics and upgrade screens and stuff like that. It's got a little bit of mixed reviews, but they're mostly positive, and it was cheap and on sale, and I figured I would check it out.
Nice.
So I haven't started it up yet. But I got it
You'll have
for
to
like,
let us know if you get around to it.
I think $4 on sale. So
have you played any of this space game that we like to play?
Yes.
Have you fixed your system?
No.
Your system is just out of control, dude. You need to get some reins on that system.
I mean, what kind of
We
what
did
kind of
make you the
space
governor.
what kind of space dictator would I be if I didn't hoard wealth and ignore my subjects?
So what
Or
you're saying is the
neglect
next
them.
step. What you're saying is the next step is you're going to declare war on my system.
No, probably not. I'm too lazy for that.
Yeah, fair enough.
War sounds like, yeah.
That sounds tiring.
All right. Well,
Anyway, so yeah, that's what's been going on over here.
what did you do in game?
I jumped my carrier.
Oh,
Because we've also we did a little bit of renovation on the house. So whoever lived here before, they had put up this wall in between the living room and the kitchen, right? And we hated it, and they did a bad job. They did a really bad job. They did a fucking awful job. And so we went and tore that down and put the stove on the other side of the room, and then moved the refrigerator to the other side of the room, and moved some counters around. So yeah, it's been busy. That and Emily's sick, so she's been off school today in a handful. So it's been a week.
It has.
I'd probably find more time to play my favorite space game, our favorite space game, really. If I could pull myself away from this damn wrestling game.
You're still playing where you're booking shows and stuff like that. You're not actually wrestling. You're just managing wrestlers.
Yeah, I'm booking shows and booking storylines and managing talent and managing budget and all that stuff, and it's addictive. I've been doing it for going on 5 years in game.
Wow.
When he popped into Discord before you pulled us down here for the recording, the first words out of Teflon's mouth were about that wrestling game.
Yes, that checks out. That checks out.
That's true.
It is.
All right.
It is. I have wrestling friends that I talk to about this stuff in another Discord that only has like 25 of us in there.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we all need our hobbies. Last and definitely not least is, all right, let's see if we can hear him this time. Indigo Boobtron.
I was going to say, don't skip me. I'm still here.
Indigo Boobtron.
Don't. Screw you.
Indigo Boobtron, you're on.
The other button. The
Are
other
you
button.
sure? Are you sure you can hear me?
No, Jim, I saw him light up for a second
You
there.
seriously can't hear me? This is like a joke, right?
He's
Gotta be
lighting
a
up,
joke.
but he's
Yeah.
not. There's no sound.
Yeah.
You were kidding.
We've got. Oh, now he just
You were
muted
kidding,
and,
really?
and stuff. So he's working on stuff. As soon as he gets back, we're gonna make him talk for the rest of the show, nonstop. So
Wait, what? Nurgle, you say something.
Something.
Okay, I can hear Nurgle.
okay, yeah,
Okay.
Nurgle's here. Indigo's not. This makes for compelling podcasting. We've run into technical difficulties before. Nobody panic. Let's see what happens when we bring him back in.
We are a technical difficulty.
All right.
Boobtron, you're back.
Yeah, am I? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I've been here all along. I just wasn't in the Discord audio. Anyway, irrelevant. Hi, everybody. Thank you for your patience with my technical issues. Anyway, I have been looking at birds, a lot of birds lately. Apparently, my wife and I are the kind of nerds that get up at an ungodly hour of the morning to drive an irresponsible distance to see one bird very, very far away from its home.
Yeah, bird watchers are crazy. I used to have people come from all over the world to do bird watching up around my neck of the woods.
I am sure you have, absolutely. I intend to be one of those people in the, I think, not too distant future.
What is the rarest bird you found?
Just the other day, we got up at 4:30 in the morning to drive to Milwaukee to go see a flame-colored tanager in a park right along Lake Michigan. And
Sounds like a ship name.
yeah, right? They live in the northern part of their ranges, like Monterey, Mexico. They're very rare in the mountains of West Texas. And this one somehow ended up on the wrong side of a watershed and flew up to Milwaukee, where it's hanging out on a bluff right over Lake Michigan. And we went and saw it, and we found it. Somebody saw it, identified it, posted it online. Somebody else had a database search flag set to go off, and the next thing you know, we showed up there. There were already 4 or 5 people looking for it. Walked down this long trail to stand on a rocky beach in a cold morning right after sunrise. And sure enough, there it was. A couple people saw it, and people came running over. And for an hour or two, as we were there and then leaving, people kept showing up and asking which way to go and if was it still there. And yeah, it's a whole thing. It's remarkable how much data there is about it now too. An app will tell you where everybody has seen this bird in the last, 3 weeks, and there've been a bunch of
true life Pokemon Go. I mean,
it really
people
is. Yeah,
go
absolutely.
everywhere.
We were standing in the woods looking for one of these birds, and I found myself thinking about how I would make an augmented reality version that would identify birds separate from the foliage and everything else. And I realized I was gamifying real life and trying to make a virtual reality bird watching game while I was standing out in the woods bird watching. It was kind of a meta moment. But anyway, so we've been getting up early and had a lot of success. A bird that's usually only in Siberia that we drove out to Rockford to see in a puddle in somebody's field. I had no idea who spotted it in the first place, but again, there were a bunch of people out there in the middle of nowhere. In game, I've been trying to figure out the buckyball. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And I tried to pick up a little Odyssey engineering stuff, hoping I wouldn't get one shot by whatever was going to show up after the update. It made almost no progress at all, so I went back to flying my ship as fast as I could. And that's about it. There's a lot of news that Teflon hasn't heard, apparently, so that'll be fun to do a little spoilering later on. But yeah.
Right on. Yeah, we definitely have hopefully a little bit longer discussion topic tonight, actually talking about the game. But we'll get to that in a bit. I guess, I don't know, we got a squadron update thingy, I think. So we got to play a sounder for that because our mommy puts a lot of work into this stuff. So here. So how about we do a squad update? Bang, squadron update. That'd be Nurgle. Nurgle's muted. Oh my God.
You don't read the recording booth, do you?
No. Never. Oh, he's AFK. All right. I guess who wants to do a squadron update? Because I sure shit ain't
I
doing
got this. Hold on.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, you pay attention to what's going on.
Lark Shadow.
With the squadron
in the hands of Lark Shadow.
So, standing orders have basically been the same for the past 3 days, and that hasn't changed today either. Calarum needs help and getting LSN stabilized because that system is just a mess. Thank you for that, Teflon. We also have an election in Graham that we're up 2-0. An election just went live in LTT 17156. And another election in FF Andromeda. So it's just nothing but poll work and hammering us down in systems that are overheating.
Fan of the poll work. All right. That's good. I guess anything to add to that other than just reading the orders? You got any tips, tricks?
Only tip I have is I need to be a better pack rat because I looked at engineering stuff on foot and I do not have enough of things I thought I had tons of.
Here's the problem with the engineering on foot is our inventory is so limited that you gotta selectively pack rat. You just can't collect everything until everything is full like you can with space junk.
Like you have to shop for what you need?
Yeah, you can't just keep picking up everything of something. That's like, I don't know if I want to talk about. Yeah, let me just talk about this now. The ground engineering stuff, because you said you started doing it and
See, I
realized
know
how
you've
big of
done
a
a
pain
bunch
it is.
of it, right? You said you've got the G5s and everything.
Yeah, I've got one of every weapon G5, and I've got one of each suit G5. And then I wanted to be set up so when we got any interesting ground stuff, I could like do whatever engineering to those not engineering, but the filling the slots, your scopes or your long range and all of the, if you compare it to space, if you don't know that you've got engineering, which just makes it stronger, and then there's like all these slots you can fill, which is almost like adding experimental effects to ships, is the best way I could kind of compare it.
Totally.
It's exactly what it is. Yeah.
So I then, after I got everything done, then it's like, okay, so I want to try to do just about everything. And if you use, what is it? Odyssey Engineering Helper. What's the app everybody uses that
Elite
really
Dangerous Odyssey Materials Helper.
There we go.
That's
Odyssey
the one.
Materials Helper. That is the one. That thing makes everything. And when you have that open, you can kind of see things will be green that you got enough mats to do.
Yeah, there are overlays on the bartender screen and when you're looking around.
So I just tried to, I did this before there were overlays. I do it just in the app on a second monitor where I could see, and it'll show you, if things are green, if you can do an engineering of some kind. So I just went and I collected stuff so that I had as many things so I could do any single engineering thing. I really sound like I've got OCD, don't I? But
A little bit.
I made sure that I would have enough to do like any engineering thing. If one random thing became super important, I want to be able to get it. Which meant that I don't have like more than 10 of any single engineering mat because, most things take 5 to 10. Maybe there's some things.
So you just made sure you had enough to do like 2 slots worth.
Yeah, but then like if I go like do one engineering thing, I probably will, run out of another component, that won't allow me to do another slot anyway. So it's kind of silly, but that's why I kind of still have, I'm maxed out on the on-foot engineering stuff.
I suppose the on-foot combat stuff that we know is coming now should have some mat payoffs, right? I mean, these places are abandoned, but I suspect all the containers are still going to have stuff in them.
I'd be surprised if they didn't.
So it's going to be a matter of basically scrounging for mats to update your ship while you're either evading or trying to. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
So that's the ground engineering is just being a pack rat doesn't help.
So did you like have a spreadsheet that use that to tell you how many you needed of each thing to reach your kind of baseline?
Yeah, well, Odyssey Material Helper does all that for you.
Oh, sure.
It's really just slick. Without that, I don't know what I would have done. I was starting to kind of do a spreadsheety kind of thing, and then saw Astro's video on Material Helper, and that's what I used to do all of the engineering. Get all the engineers unlocked. And
I thought I saw the other day that it'll even tell you if data available is something that you need. But I think you can also point at objects. Use the point emote, and it'll show whether or not that's something that's on your list. That's so clever. Really? I love that.
Yeah,
yes, I only know that because Psykit raves about that feature.
That's so clever.
You guys have all the new tools that I didn't have when I did it, you cheaters. But back in my day, like
old man yells at Nebula.
I have no idea how long ago that even was that I went through that whole grind. It's been a while.
Couldn't have been that long.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it was that long, but man, it had to have been. I don't know. Bet you I can.
All I know is for this mission, I've got to get to the security data port, and no one outside of that room has a level 3 access, so this is going to be interesting.
Do you use the little, what do you call it, the OMG, the Odyssey map guide that has the maps of all the settlements and tips and tricks section? That's worth checking out if you're ever working on getting into the world of
Dude, it's
Odyssey
been over a year since
stuff.
I did that. I'm noticing I unlocked all those engineers back in December of 21.
Wow.
So it's been like a year and a half since I really played with the Odyssey on foot stuff. So I'm probably not the best guy to ask because the tools have changed and everything since then.
Yeah, there's somebody on, we can put the link up easily enough to find, but somebody made a great map guide and went through all the different settlement plans by category in Odyssey and put in where all the airlocks and doors and terminals with data maybe. And then there's also a tips and tricks checkbox that you can check, and it'll show you if you stand on this window ledge, then somebody's going to come by every 90 seconds or so that you can get level 3 clearance from, stuff like that. Like each one seems to have like one little. It's fantastic. It's an astonishing bit of work that somebody made for this game.
Love this game.
That, to my mind at least, makes the Odyssey stuff a lot less kind of mystifying. Just having a little bit more sense of where to go. But yeah, I'll post a link for it later. It's definitely worth checking out.
Absolutely. I did it the hard way and just memorized the layouts of the most common ones.
Yeah, everything in this game is pretty daunting when you first get into it because there's just
there's something like
so
30 layouts basically for settlements in 5 or 6 categories.
I'm always amazed when new players join this game when I think about all the shit I've gone through to get to where I am. I can't imagine going through all that again. So, damn. Okay, well, let's do a Bard's report, and then we can talk about the stuff.
We can get Teflon playing again.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
All right, hold on. Here we go.
On the board, the Tin Hattie Express!
Not a lot of news this week. Both quality and quantity have taken a slight hit, almost as if something big is about to happen. I can't imagine what that could possibly be.
This is the largest salt mine in the world, right here in...
Anyways, that out of the way, let's get started.
26,000 tons per day from an underground mine is a lot of tons.
May 1st, Rackham Fundraiser secures political backing. Business owner going into politics gets his required political backers. That's all that is.
Boring!
May 2nd, resources needed for Thargoid Pulse Neutralizer. So, Tuesday community goal for acquiring resources for Aegis.
Arby's is pretty cool.
And May 4th, Xiao Jin Ai says the Thargoids know we're coming. Xiao Jinai continues to remind folks she was the victim of unethical mind-altering experiments by stating the obvious as loudly as she can.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock!
Well, that's all the news this week. Have fun out there.
We take about a 14-foot slice on the top of that development phase, and we use continuous miners for that phase. So they're big machines with big drums that are turning with picks on them, and they break the salt up, and then that salt goes into a truck and then onto a conveyor.
Bard.
That was excellent.
He kills me. Yeah, he's bracing for what's coming up. I don't know. Let's should we jump into this a little bit?
Yeah, why not?
Or do we want to hit like a Thargoid bug report? Anything going on there? I think that involves what's happening tomorrow.
I can slip a little something into a Thargoid bug report.
All right, Thargoid bug report. What do you got?
Knock off a couple of birds with one proverbial stone. This is an interesting little bug that is plaguing this week's buckyball race. If anyone is interested, it's still quite early, except that the whole world's going to change tomorrow, and we don't know what that's going to mean, because this race goes through one crashed Thargoid ship and 2 Thargoid surface sites. For reasons we'll discuss soon, that could be a little more precarious starting whenever they turn the things back on tomorrow. The challenge is that you have to run into the structure and get a Thargoid link. And sometimes those hang from unbreakable spider webs at the top of their little spot and will blow up before you have a chance to get them to drop. And all the best minds at Buckyball have spent a week or so trying to ferret out the pattern that makes it work, whether you boost up a little bit so you're shooting down at it, or you back up before you shoot, or you shoot from the turret, or you shoot without the turret. We, I suppose, had to reach the consensus that it wasn't quite reliable enough to build a race on after the race had already started. So Alec Turner cleverly said that you could also grab a Thargoid resin or the other one that's in that same chamber. And you have to finish the race with that and the probe that gets you in your cargo hatch. So player-wise, it's worked out great. It doesn't really affect your time. Incidentally, he also cleverly set it up to give you a minute and a half if you get hyperdicted because we're flying around at the Pleiades. And that also seems exactly calibrated right. So it's a great race, a lot of fun. Everybody should try it. But it also suffers from a Thargoid-related bug in this game that we love to mostly love.
Yeah, it is what it is. I really wanted to get on the buckyball thing this week, but didn't get a chance to, and I think that's going to be, unfortunately, backseat here coming up the next, 24 hours. I would say, 16, 18 hours from now, but I never play on patch day, right? I don't know. Should we just dive in then? What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm just trying to get into a freaking sleeping pod in this surface site because I don't want to get into a fight while I'm on the podcast.
That's a good idea.
Trying to do what to who?
Sleeping pods. They're like little pods with a bed in it.
What game is that?
He's going to go take a nap in somebody else's bed, and then
basically he
can park himself and not get shot. Okay. Anyway, this last week, it was really just Friday already? Gosh, Friday afternoon, an NDA expired that had kept a bunch of the Frontier partner people from telling us what they had learned a few weeks ago. Not exactly sure how much advance notice they had, but they were forbidden from saying anything.
They had an NDA. They all signed an NDA, so they couldn't do anything, but they all had this prepped for the second that NDA expired.
Yeah, so when it expired, they all had cool stuff that they got to share in their particular ways, whether it was on live stream or releasing a video or something like that. And a bunch of cool stuff came out in a big rush and made a lot of noise. So if you really genuinely want to be surprised, we'll probably be talking about this for a little bit. You might want to fast forward carefully.
Yeah, if you're afraid of spoilers and stuff, now is when you might tune out and you can come back and I'd be completely fucking guessing how long you should not listen. If you want to avoid spoilers, I'd hate to say it, you might just tune out from here until the end. So,
3 hours.
You're going to have to hide from just about any Elite-related media.
But needless to say, there's a big patch coming out tomorrow, and we're going to discuss what we know, and we're going to speculate as to what we hope is coming. So if you want speculation, fine, but it's going to be mixed in with what we've already kind of been told, and I don't think any of it is really spoilers. I don't think it's that big of a deal myself, but I don't want somebody. I don't care if somebody hates me forever for us talking about it. We gave you a fair warning.
Plenty of warning.
So, all right.
So, okay, first of all, the new spaceship that we all speculated about is going to be called the Glaive.
I love that name.
Like from the movie Crawl, not like the medieval polearm. But
yeah, and it has to be
capital
from
G Glaive.
Yeah, it has to be from the movie because
the one with
Glaive is not.
Tips.
Does not look like a shuriken, just so we can be clear. All right.
It is the first of a new class of Thargoid ships, of Hunter-class ships, that we have been told they bioengineered as a weapon to use against us after running into human resistance. So, looks like it's going to have some combination of the usual Thargoid lightning attack and maybe some scramble spectrum experimental effect stuff going on. One of the videos, the Burr Pit has probably the most extensive total videos available. Shows systems rebooting and somebody's AX multi-cannon rebooting after the strafing run by the Glaive.
So I watched the reveal on Crow's stream, Grinning Crow, lower master himself, I guess. And the pictures that they got of the glaive, I'm sure the Burr Pit had this one as well. I just didn't see it in their stuff. But it's shooting lightning from all 4 of its arms. And it can, like, not only sustain it like an interceptor, but it can pulse it at you as well and just make your modules reset. That thing looks mean.
I don't know. The lightning to me just looked like kind of when you're at certain range, it comes and goes, even when you're fighting an interceptor. And it always kind of seems to come from wherever. And the shutting down effect, I don't know, that interceptor thing, you have shit kind of shutting down and stuff too. So I don't know how much different this lightning is from a, full-size interceptor's lightning. But
it certainly seems like it would be in line with our current kind of general practice of overdoing it on module protection.
Yeah, that's my guess. But yeah, as you said, it looks like it's a new, well, they've said it's a new class of Thargoid. So scouts, there's 4 different types of interceptors. Well, 4 different types with your scouts. You've got your, let's go through them. Regenerators, Berserker, Marauder, and Inciter, which all have their own kind of individual little abilities and different levels of strength, and you want to kill certain ones first and everything else. Then we've got our Interceptors, and there's 4 types. You got Cyclops, Basilisk, Medusa, and Hydra, all just varying levels of power and a little bit different speed, and they're carrying along stuff. Now, we don't know if this new class is going to have a series of 4 again, or if it's going to just be this one and we're going to get more after.
Right, if it'd be 4 ships or 4 loadouts.
Yeah.
So that was asked to Crow while I was watching his stream.
Okay.
And he said that in the sit down that they had when all of this was gone over with the NDA, that everyone asked that. And that they said there, I believe it's heavily implied there are more, but they're leaving it for us to find out, which means this might be the weakest of the hunters. We don't know.
Be the strongest. We don't know. The way I see it right now is it feels like it's kind of that gap between scouts being, once you know how to fight a little bit, just kind of nuisance, annoy them, and the difficulty of your interceptors. It seems like it's kind of in between the two. And hopefully, yeah, there are 3 more, and they stick to this tradition of 4 at each tier or each class of interceptor.
All I know is it's a lot faster and more maneuverable than the standard interceptors.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting if they turn out to have AI that is on par with the hardest to kill human ships, and then put together enough of those to make it a problem. Maybe 3 really well armed and armored, fast moving glaives is enough to draw your attention and really mess you up if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, I'll be curious how fast they actually are, though. I mean, are we talking, 650 meters per second fast, or are we talking Basilisk level fast? Just being as small as they are, as close to you, they look faster. I don't know.
It's hard. It'll be hard to tell until we can actually fight them. From the videos, it looks like they're fast in a straight line, but maybe not so much turning. So kind of like a jouster, but it's really hard to tell.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm sure AXI will have a ton of data by this time tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
So speculating on that, but yeah, it definitely is a new challenge. What else have we learned?
What else? I guess the big question people have been asking for a very long time is whether or not we're going to get any ground combat, any Odyssey specific combat that involves Thargoids, and we have now seen what it looks like, and the answer is yes.
At least for now, it looks like.
At least for now, yeah. So the very first version of it is that those scavengers now have an equivalent called a revenant, which glows yellow and is like the War of the Worlds aliens that fly around abandoned settlements in Thargoid-controlled systems. There's going to be a new mission type that you go and get somewhere that says, go and gather this important data from this site, which happens to be in a Thargoid-controlled system. And when you get there, there will be several of these revenants patrolling the area. And they have War of the Worlds spotlights, I think. And if they see you, they will contact each other. There look like some kind of a lightning network thing going on, and they'll work together to find you and isolate you. And if you decide that you should bring your ship in and kill them from the sky, then interceptors will show up and make that difficult as well. They look killable but difficult. I'm sure there will be all kinds of appropriate loadouts. There's some rumor, I'm not sure who said it, that plasma weapons would turn out to be significant. Maybe that's part of why the Oppressor is so terrible. It's destined to be like the Thargoid killing AR-50.
Yeah, that rumor came from the meeting all of the content creators had with the FDev people.
Somebody asked about plasma, and they said...
Yeah, someone asked about it, and all they did was heavily imply, yeah, you'll probably want to have one. So, like, along those lines.
Yeah, and in the video they showed him using kinetic weapons against the Revenants. And also the gun and rocket on the Scorpion. So there finally might be a reason to have a gunner and a driver cruising around in a Scorpion.
Oh, heck yes.
That could be...
I mean, from looking at the ground combat stuff, I mean, I'll admit, the only one that I really got a chance to watch was Burr Pits, and, you know, they've said that this wasn't footage of them playing. This was, you know, devs showing them footage. The whole ground combat side of it, I never got a good look at one of these things. You see the spotlights and stuff in the dark and everything, and I just, you never get a clear look at them. It looks like, yeah, they've got a spotlight. Once they see you, they kind of swarm you, and they're shooting you with some kind of beam laser. But
they have a beam. They also throw grenades and rockets at you. Caustic ones.
Throw grenades.
I don't know. How did Zerg shoot? Figure it out.
Built-in grenade launchers, right?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that Zerg shot. They, like, spit barbs at you with, like, slime and shit. These guys...
Okay, so they spit grenades at you.
They're pooping out grenades. I guess.
Gross poop grenades. Like monkeys.
Poop meta confirmed.
Yeah, but yeah, so I mean, I don't know how this is going to play out. Hopefully it forces us, maybe these are like surface defenders and they force us like into the structures and then we run into something else there, I'm kind of hoping, you know, so.
I mean, it makes sense. We talked about it a bit last week. It's kind of hard to come up with a reason why the Thargoid, any sort of Thargoid biologicals would be walking around on a surface area. I mean, I would suspect that we'll have to be inside the maelstrom to see them, and this, from what we know about the way they operate, it makes sense. They have these bioelectronic robot things that are doing all their regular work for them. They're scavenging stuff from the bases, or they're patrolling them or something like that.
That actually connects back to something that's always been heavily implied, but only just now confirmed, in that the Thargoid surface sites, the big ones that you can go inside, those are in fact crashed Maelstrom ships.
Crashed
that was confirmed by
ships, or
FDev.
Just crashed like mega
it's a
ships?
crashed hive.
Crashed hive ships.
Okay,
yeah.
A hive ship. Okay, yeah.
We don't know for sure that that's what's inside the.
Yeah,
and we don't know for sure what the
happening.
rest of it looks like that's not buried.
Yeah, because in a galaxy with a few trillion people, we've never bothered to go excavate one properly. I'm kind of confused by that, but...
Well, they tried, but the people got robbed and shot into the sun.
And then the scavengers kill all the...
Yep.
all the
and no one ever tried again.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the connection, the scavengers at those Thargoid bases are actually taking apart those Thargoid megaships so pieces of it can be reused. So the Ravagers we see are basically just the next level to what those are.
Okay, but then my curious, when they're doing that at the Thargoid megaships, there must be compartments we can't get, or that superstructures, sorry.
Exactly.
That we can't get to. They're bringing them down deeper inside, and they're slowly repairing these ships with what they're gathering. Is that the...
I think they're supposed to be
stripping
them. They're stripping them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're trying to rebuild anything. They're just salvaging whatever they can. So they're just.
But then where's that going? Because you never really run into interceptors at the structures. They're just stockpiling it until the day somebody comes to collect it.
Yeah, probably refining it and parking it somewhere.
Okay.
Maybe that's what the big weird shaped structures sticking out. Maybe they're. You do see some spiky things. Maybe they're refining it and just parking it in crystals somewhere. Who knows?
Okay, and then I believe you already touched on this too. Is when you're fighting at these structures, if you do have ships overhead, interceptors will be called in for assistance. Has there been any word on if you're fighting on the ground and you're actually beating these things, are interceptors going to come in and start shooting at you on the ground?
As far as I know, no.
Yeah, I think they only said it in the context of don't think you can fly in with your ship and kill all of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
don't use your ship to kill those guys. Got it.
It's implied the trigger for that is you've killed one of them or otherwise damaged him with your ship weapons.
Okay. So
that's how I understand it.
I'll be honest. I'm kind of excited to go down on these sites and play with my G5 weapons and stuff and try to fight some of these things because they do it. It wasn't just like a few. It looked like there were a bunch of them that are there, and you get a team of 4. Maybe if we can clear.
Come with me in the Crusader.
Yeah, it might really be worth doing as a 4-person.
We can get the instancing to work.
Or even more, yeah. You can get more than one group together in some of these.
I think the trick is we all meet up somewhere just outside of wherever we're going to do this, and then we all get in the one ship there, so we only have one jump to contend with.
That's not a bad idea. The last few times I've done on foot stuff have had 0 instancing issues. The first 6-8 months that Odyssey was out and I'd try getting together with anybody, could never get it to work. It was always just an absolute shit show. But the last probably 3 or 4 times I've been astonished. It works better than trying to gather with my friends in space. It's been working relatively well. So knock on wood, we don't run into too many problems tomorrow, but we haven't mentioned yet, it's 8 hours of downtime tomorrow, which means that this is going to be a pretty extensive patch, and I'm very cringy on that. You never play on patch day kind of thing, but I will say their last couple patches have been remarkably smooth too.
Yeah, regardless of how smooth it is, I am so going to be in Twitch streams all day long tomorrow at work.
There is that, but what's the actual
watching the game crash?
Basically, yeah.
At what time are servers supposed to come back up? Our time tomorrow.
I thought it was fairly early, like mid-morning.
Well, let's take
9 or 10, something like that.
Yeah, let's.
Now, what's the thingy? I don't remember what the actual time
goes
is.
Down around 1 my time.
Gonna see.
Oh yeah, I'm checking now too. Deployment schedule.
I know Sally made a point of saying on her Twitter that
they're going
stuff
down.
that we've seen is just scratching the surface. It's not even
down.
The big part of what
servers go down at 7 a.m. BST, which is 1 a.m. our time, right? Yeah. And then they'll come back up at 9 a.m. So that's not too bad. So we should be able to see them if it's back up, and maybe it'll be back up ahead of time.
I know that the AXI
this is me knocking on wood.
Operations planned for immediately upon the resumption of the game. They know they've got one person who's going to get the Thargoid pulse neutralizer in the very first round from either Ramta or from winning the CG. But,
yeah, but you mentioned that the new pulse neutralizer that you're going to be able to buy from a tech broker, correct? And one of the costs of that is a Jolly Rancher. Mm-hmm. So you have to have those.
Jolly Rancher.
And this is one of those things that you don't really need more than one because you can just move it from ship to ship pretty easily. It's
how
not
many
like
are you going to have
up.
Within a week? 5?
5
3?
Of those? No.
Yeah.
No, I have 4 Jolly Ranchers stockpiled, so depending on what else you need with it will determine how many of them I buy, just because it doesn't sound like the Grelics really have any other purpose.
So this is me just spitballing, but I think it's just going to be a one-time unlock, and then you can buy.
They said it wasn't. Somebody said it. Well, one of the stories that broke over the weekend was that it was not a one-time unlock, that it was an expensive.
It's funny because I've only been hearing that
unlock.
It is.
that would be great. It would certainly make more sense.
Well,
for it to be.
They said that the new.
really matter.
Well, the new enhanced
How many-
one that we have right now,
Right.
or the new scanner wasn't unlocked, then you can buy them, right?
And the caustic sinks too. Yeah.
And the caustic sinks. And then I had heard too, like what Boob had heard, that it was sounding like it wasn't going to be, but I couldn't hear any confirmation. You, Lark, seem to listen to like everybody under the sun, so you probably heard a lot more. I don't know what is speculation, what is fact at this point, though.
But you're right.
Yeah,
You're
neither
not gonna
do
need
I.
two on
All
day
I know
one
is I've
anyway.
heard more it's one time than I have it's not, but I have heard both everywhere.
Seriously, such a specialized piece of equipment like that, I'm fine with it being either way, because it's not like something
for sure.
you're going to be buying 20 of, so like, heat sink launchers or something like that. This thing has a very specific purpose, and that purpose is,
We
once
don't know
again,
yet.
speculation,
Yeah.
but it's
That's
to
one
get
of the
us
things
into
that was
the
not
maelstrom.
included at all.
That purpose
in
is to
the
die in
previews.
a new and exciting way.
For
Probably
sure.
many times over.
And that's the thing, because I got kind of off track there, because mentioning the new pulse wave or neutralizer, the new neutralizer, that's why I kind of like, there's the new kind of interceptor out there. Then there's going to be these new missions and going to ground bases happening, and there's going to be the maelstrom activity, thing too. So it's like, what does somebody want to go try first? You're going to go do this, going to go do that, and I'm probably going to be trying the ground stuff and watching YouTube videos of the maelstrom stuff myself. I kind of feel let's check out this ground thing, though I've never have been, I don't think I ever will be with this game excited about all the ground stuff, but I do.
It doesn't mean it won't be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. So get that in, see what it's like, and if it's a ton of freaking fun, it'll change my mind. Otherwise, I'll just be back in my spaceship doing the other stuff after. But I'm not the biggest researcher type player in this game like Boob tends to be, or, some other players. And I like to kind of let them go in there, because in my head canon, I'm always in my ship. I don't like dying ever.
Same.
And if there was a maelstrom in character, like when the Stargoids were coming in and stuff, and we knew where they were going to arrive, and like, or even before that, when they were going to do the pulse, when Salvation did his pulse, I jumped my fleet carrier out 300 light years away, just for the simple fact, in character, I would not have been anywhere near that system with them shooting that fucking weapon. No chance in hell. So my own headcanon, I could not be near that. And like with the maelstrom and stuff here, I would let the scientists go in, figure out what it is, and then once they've got a genuine call to arms, then I'll go in and I'll murder the shit out of it for them. But I'm not going in there just to be killed. And like, reason I'll go do the on foot stuff is because I'm not as into that. It's kind of almost like a separate entity of the game for me, so I can go do that stuff without it really being my commander, if that makes sense.
Well, it makes perfect sense. And I actually kind of air quote role play it the same kind of way. In fact, I haven't died in my ship in the longest time until just yesterday, when I was basically ended up dueling a ship 3 times my size in my Viper 4, and they got me, but I got them at the same time, so I still count it as a win.
Winner, chicken dinner. Now, what do you think? What are you guys' theories? What theories you guys been hearing about the whole maelstrom side of it? Because that's, I don't know, I think that's going to be the real surprise in this patch.
I haven't heard a lot, and I think that is partly because FDev did such a good job with their planning and marketing stuff this last week. However the patch goes, I mean, like any, it's going to hinge on whether or not they can execute technically, and we get a patch that works or a patch that doesn't. But between the announcing the CG to get the materials for the Thargoid Pulse Neutralizer, with the kind of interesting twist of the free modules going just to the top 10, not the top 10%. Obviously, there was some speculation about whether or not somebody fat-fingered a percent sign, but it has created a sort of scarcity that got people into doing the CG and talking about doing the CG And that was just kind of starting to taper a little bit when Friday afternoon came around and everybody got a preview look at stuff to be excited about. And it has taken up enough oxygen that I haven't really come across much speculation other than what we've all been wildly speculating about for the last few weeks or months or longer. I was wondering maybe if it would be, instead of a single object, a bunch of hive ships, kind of a Cloud City setup. So we have multiple targets to go in and destroy, like 7 or 8. And you can go in with your friends and attack one and disable it for a while. Something like that will eventually be able to go in and have combat with. But just by virtue of the way the game is built and operates, there's not going to be a Death Star for us to destroy, because then there wouldn't be a Death Star when we came back to destroy it again, or when the next people came by to destroy it. Megaships we can chase off, but up to now, at least, there hasn't been that kind of permanent destruction in the game. So I've been thinking a little bit about how, in game design terms, you handle a big, boss level base setup like that. And so maybe one way you do it is by having several hive ships that you can go in there and mess with and disable or blow up, and then there are more.
Or
I personally
utterly surprise me and they go, full multi-stage battle, and the reason there's 8 maelstroms is because it takes a monumental task to remove that from the game, and there's 8 of them. I don't know.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
I think there's going to be 1 to 3 of whatever's in there. And I think the only thing I know for sure is that they are going to be big enough that I will be able to land my AX ship on it and deploy my SRV, suckers.
I was thinking when Boob said the whole Cloud City kind of idea, and then I'm like, well, yeah, then we drop down and we got to go inside of it and have the whole aliens kind of thing going on where we got to do things inside the ship in order to disable something so that then our ship's outside, while you've got air support going on, and then, I don't know, drop the shield generator. So I don't know, something.
Well, let's think about it this way. I don't know if you watched the video of the on foot stuff. You mentioned you saw a little bit of it. And did you get how moody that all felt with those things floating around, and you don't want to be seen by them, but you got to get stuff done in the base? I bet whatever is going on inside the Maelstrom is that multiplied by like 100.
Yeah, well, it has a whole classic, like, the first Alien kind of movie. I don't know, that there's the fog and then the lights shining, and it's just, it is very, very kind of creepy look to it. And I like that they're setting a mood, but I mean, the mood was set so good. Like I said, I couldn't get a good look at what those things even looked like. They say that they look like the other critters.
We definitely didn't get a look at them at all.
Yeah, right now they look like a glowy red light with something kind of behind them, with either a flashlight in front of them or a laser
maybe like
beam
a coffin
shooting
that flies and shoots
that was
lightning
intentional,
at you.
I think.
What if there are actually sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads? just throwing it out there.
Then we'll be lucky we don't have water worlds.
Yeah,
sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
Exactly. Well, Teflon, you've been kind of quiet because you're hearing a lot of this stuff for the first time. I believe you weren't up to date on the news at all. What do you think about some of this?
I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm in a good headspace for it. So, I'm excited to see how it goes and get in there and experience it myself. While you guys were talking, I kept the video on mute, but I did look at some of the footage and some of the stuff, and I'm cautiously optimistic.
Cool, I will be recklessly optimistic.
As usual.
I have done very little on foot in this game, and it's something I've been meaning to go back to and do more in, and do some of the engineering and some of the on foot missions and combat and things. Because still, as I said before Odyssey even came out, the first person I see on foot, I'm going to shoot them.
I believe it.
Wasn't it you and me that did some on-foot stuff together and you killed me with a missile launcher, or was that Borked?
That was not me.
Okay, that was Borked.
I think that might have been me, actually.
Yeah,
I
think we were with Borked, and I was like, I don't think you can be killed with friendly fire, and then I killed you.
Yeah. I took 4 missiles to the face.
Yeah, that was me. Because got to realize my grenade launcher, I found it was level 3 when I found it, and it already had increased headshot damage on my grenade launcher. So yeah, that's a fun one. But see, like Lark, there's glass half full kind of people and glass half empty kind of people. You're more of a give me a fucking cup, I'm just happy I have something to drink kind of person. So I love
confirm
eternal optimism and everything else. I'm curious. I see McGeek sitting up in general. Should we just drag him down here and surprise him and be like, hey, what's your opinion of all the new stuff?
I would say
we can't
because we're recording on an Inucaster.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's a darn.
Hey, McGeek, you're gotta be on the show here in the next couple weeks, either next week or the week after, or both weeks. I don't give a fuck. Trying to just get a few more people in here joining this.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I just know. Be forewarned. I touch base with me this week, and I'll teach how this stupid unicast. I mean, this awesome unicaster thing, unicaster, whatever this magical thing that records us, how it works, and then I could just send you a link in the middle of a show one time and then get you in here, or just have you in from the beginning of the show so you can do a whole intro and everything. All right, there we go. I got that.
I am the current bull of the woods, if you will.
Amen. I don't know. Yeah, you guys. Who else? Anything else on this?
I got something.
Good.
Our friend Nurgle had to leave early and send his regards, but I wanted to be sure to bring up his bug report for the week. I haven't looked at the notes, but I think I can still hear his concerns ringing off the walls of the general chat room. And it involves the megaship scenarios in systems where there's war or other combat stuff going on. They're awesome. They are a great way to get influence if you're on the defending side, but they have a problem that has always been a problem and is enough of a problem that it keeps people from playing the scenarios at all sometimes. And that is that in the little mini missions that come along, every once in a while you'll get one that says that an opposing ship is stealing something from the megaship, so you have to fly up and dissuade forcibly that ship from stealing something. Often that results in a bullet or beam hitting the megaship, at which point everyone on your side decides that you're the bad guy. And when you inevitably get destroyed, you will end up in jail for trying to defend the megaship that said, hey, somebody's robbing me, come stop these guys. And then you get blown up and have to go to jail. That's
interesting.
Megaship scenario runs are kind of judged by how long you managed to go before everyone decided you were the bad guy. Sometimes it might be 5 or 6 runs, and it didn't happen to me at all for a week or two of BGS stuff. I was really workshopping the megaships, and then all of a sudden I got a bad run, and 3 times in a day and a half I had to fly back from jail. So it's been an issue for a long time, but it is an unfortunate one. And
I'll have to try that.
Very upset about it.
Salt is a way of life.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's so many things that they put in this game that seem like they'd be super cool and fun. It's bugs like that push you away from them because it's great in theory, but if it doesn't work, it is an utter failure. It's not just annoying, it's impossible and defies logic why it works the way that it works. So,
and it makes it feel like it's just not worth doing. Like, why am I wasting time doing this when
exactly.
I could be?
You can go all over the world and not see nothing as bad as this right here.
There is truth to that, but that's on a more just practical note when it comes to those is in this game, to give this game scale is why I am still okay with Super Cruise and why I'm okay with, our jump ranges being what they are. It just teaches that the galaxy's huge. But you take the time to fly to a system and then fly in Super Cruise all the way to, one of these scenarios, and then it just, fucks up on you. You wasted so much time getting there and then wasted time attempting to make it work that it just leaves you just wanting to go do something else. So that's why, most of us, every time it's like the best patch they could ever do is just fix what's broken.
To their credit, I've had that sort of thing happen to me a lot in World of Warcraft and EverQuest 2 back in the day. So, your mileage may vary.
And it's like, I've played Batman Arkham City and I really enjoyed it. But before that, I tried to play Arkham Asylum. And this has been years ago. I was really enjoying it, but I got to a part and I encountered a game-breaking bug. And I looked it up online, and what I was supposed to be looking for just wasn't there. Right? I wasn't missing anything. I was supposed to be looking for something in particular, and I can't remember exactly what it was because it's been like 5, 6, 7 years ago, maybe. And it made me mad when I discovered that, it was a glitch or something, and it like I couldn't reload a save and make it work right. I got so mad. I was like, I'm just uninstalling this game, and I haven't been back since.
Yep, that will happen.
Like, I have intentions of trying it again someday. I had intentions, after I calmed down, I'll go back and try it again one day. But like, it's been all these years and I still haven't done it yet. I mean, and that can.
Oh man.
when it feels like my time has been wasted, or like it's not worth doing, I'm gonna move on.
I don't blame you, and I agree, and that's the problem. Thankfully, there's a whole bunch of stuff in this game because there's things that I don't do anymore, and that's what's killed CQC in this game. Is people have tried, can't get in, then they do get in, and it's like one of the elite players just absolutely crushes them, and it's like, this is just stupid after they wait forever to find a game. And if there were more matches and that wasn't broken, more people would play it because it's fun. But it's killed CQC, and I'm convinced it's the fact that it's just impossible to find a game more than anything else has broken CQC. So yeah, quit wasting our time.
It even kills CQC enough that because we can't even get in like lobbies against each other in CQC. But yeah, now we're going off on a tangent.
We've had 8 people.
Yes.
8 people and tried to do team deathmatch. So it should be 4 versus 4. Both teams of 4 are into squads, so it should put those 2 teams against each other, and it starts 2 separate 2v2 matches. It's like, God damn it. So then nobody goes in a squad. We try to do it again with all 8, and then it ends up with, 2 separate matches again of 2v2. It's just weird.
Would you like a staff or a reed with which to beat this horse?
I freaking would like a freaking AR-15 and a hand grenade. I will continue to beat that horse and just, yeah. All right.
Salt is a way of life.
Yes, it is. I don't know, that's all I've got on it. I'm sure people listening to the show, you didn't even talk about X, and I don't know what to tell you, man.
Oh, I know what to tell them.
It launches
you don't like
tomorrow.
It? Fuck you.
Exactly. It launches tomorrow. Everything we said could end up being, completely wrong, and most likely will be because we're not all that bright, really.
Yeah, they seem pretty psyched about it. I mean, I hope it's not like it seems a level beyond just marketing that the few developers and the community managers are being for Brits, I think, fairly cheeky about their enthusiasm. So hopefully it's not misplaced and it doesn't run afoul of,
I am cautiously optimistic
of quality assurance or something like that. But
well, I mean, people who make something are naturally going to be excited about it, especially when to get it in front of people, they'll be excited and nervous.
Sure.
All I'm going to say, as a guy who's been in IT for 20 some odd years now, let us all say a prayer tonight for the sysadmins that are on top of this and in charge of it.
And resetting servers in the middle of the night while a bunch of people are waiting.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, good luck to them for sure.
May their energy drinks be fruitful.
Yeah.
All right, let's cheese it. I see this movie list, and none of them get me overly excited, but we can do the cheeses, and if you guys want to go over the movies, you guys can do the movies too.
Well, cheese of the week is basket cheese. It's an Arabic style semi-soft cheese. It's made from vegetable rennet. I think somebody told me that was how it was pronounced. And pasteurized cow milk. The thing where it gets basket cheese is it's molded in an elegant wicker texture baskets.
Huh.
So like wicker baskets, and it gets the shape. It gets the shape of the baskets. So yeah, it's one of the top 3 Middle Eastern kinds of cheese sold in the United States, and since basket molds are individually crafted, it is difficult to mass produce. Because the basket.
I don't think I've ever had basket cheese, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna see if I can find that.
Might have to find
I'm
a
gonna
Middle
look for
Eastern
some
grocery.
too.
Sounds like a basket of fun.
Boom. All right. Movie anniversaries. We got 10 years, 25 years, 60 years, 65 years, and 85-year anniversaries.
So yeah, I put in one of these, and then Norgo put in the rest.
Shocking. The super old movies Nurgle added. I like it.
So the Great Gatsby, we had the Great Gatsby on May 10th, 10 years ago. Deep Impact, 25 years ago today came out. That's the one with Morgan Freeman as the president, and it's the comet that hits the world instead of like Armageddon with the asteroid.
Is like Bilbo Baggins in this one?
Maybe. I don't remember. I haven't seen it since it came out 25 years ago.
Yeah, I think.
No, you're thinking of the one with a alien that's actually a puppet.
What?
Anyway, today, 60 years ago today, Dr. No came out, and if you're a Bond fan,
Classic. Odd Job with the hat, right? Island base that opens up into a missile silo or something like that. There's some trippy stuff.
65 years ago, the movie Vertigo came out. If anybody knows anything
Also a
about
good
that,
one.
I mean,
Yep.
I'm not surprised Nurgle put it in here. He probably was there when it came out.
Hitchcock set in the Presidio in San Francisco.
Sorry, I had the
Classic.
wrong Baggins. It wasn't Martin Freeman. It was I was thinking Elijah Wood, but I was just going to Baggins, and it was Frodo who's in Deep Impact. Sorry.
Oh. And then 85 years ago, I do know this one. 85 years ago on May the 12th is The Adventures of Robin Hood, the original Errol Flynn movie. That if you've ever seen any of if you ever watched Looney Tunes and seen their
Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck and doing Robin Hood stuff, it's based on that Errol Flynn movie.
Yoinks and away!
Yeah, well, Men in Tights too. Just
Yep.
that exact look with the whatever type of hat you'd call that, and then wearing tights. Yes.
Dang it, Teflon! Now I got to go look up that Looney Tunes episode.
Yikes!
You go right ahead.
So, all right, Teflon Bot got the sign out, and we can call her a night.
Sure. Let me just start it up. Chat amongst yourselves.
Do we have? Wait, we've been doing that for.
Back up your key bindings, everybody. If you
yes, key
just
bindings.
in case, it's been a while since it got screwed up.
If
But
you're
if they
still,
go, it'll ruin your day for sure.
If you have them, if you have your keybind saved properly, you don't have to worry about it. Just it's if you don't, then it's just Find the information. Come to our Discord. I think we have pinned somewhere the proper way of doing it, so you don't have to worry about it.
Better safe than sorry. So you can enjoy the day you shouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
Instead of.
Teflon bot loading.
Teflon bot's loading, everybody. So
buffering. Buffering.
And if you do play tomorrow,
Buffering.
do not get upset if you have issues, because that's to be expected on patch day. There will be issues.
Buffering.
Yeah, it's got a cure. You can't handle all the salt at once.
Run program podcast in.exe.
Okay, that should just about
If you like the show, please rate and review on your podcast player, which helps people find the show. Join us on Discord at discord.io/loosescrews and check out the merch store at loosescrewsed.com for mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/loosescrewsed. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry, Ching. I can't do that.
All right.
I'm the tower of power, too sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place.
All right. I want to thank Teflon, Lark, Boob for showing up. Nurgle, you were here for a bit. I hope everything's okay. You had to dash rather suddenly. I hope everything's good, but thanks for showing up for what you were able to be here for. Thank everybody who's listening. If you've made it to this point in the show, I'm very impressed, and your ability to take, to endure punishment is commendable. That's all
we just fucking did this, man. Why do I even have the robot?
I'm just thanking. You were promoting our stuff. I'm saying thank you from me, not from the show.
Fair enough.
All right.
You're a thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.